Okay, let's be honest. We've all been there, right? That initial like burst of motivation to hit the gym or whatever your workout is fades, and that carefully crafted workout plan ends up, just gathering dust. But what if there's a way to ditch that all or nothing mentality? What if we can make fitness work with our natural rhythms instead of against them?
It is a fascinating concept. This deep dive, we're going to be exploring this whole idea of seasonal fitness, how aligning your workouts with the natural ebb and flow of the year can actually lead to better results. And not only better results, but a more sustainable approach to just overall wellness. We've got a stack of research articles and expert opinions, even some personal anecdotes to kind of unpack here. So,
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'll admit my workouts tend to look the same month after month.
sure.
So how does this whole seasonal fitness thing actually work? Like, do I need a different workout routine for each season?
Think of it less as like separate routines, distinct routines, and more as a framework that kind of evolves throughout the year. Just like nature goes through cycles of growth, energy, and rest, we can leverage those same principles to optimize our fitness. And the beauty of this approach is it's completely customizable to you.
So step one is like figuring out how different seasons impact me personally. Like, do I naturally gravitate toward outdoor activities in the summer, or am I someone who prefers to stick to indoor workouts year round?
Exactly. Before we even dive into like the specifics of activities, it's crucial to tap into your own internal rhythms. For example, you might notice you have more energy in the spring when the days are getting longer, or maybe you find yourself craving those cozy indoor workouts, in the winter. Paying attention to those subtle shifts can be incredibly insightful.
That's interesting. I never really thought about it that way. I tend to just stick to my routine regardless of how I'm feeling or what the weather is like outside.
And that's where a lot of people get stuck. We try to force ourselves into this one-size-fits-all approach instead of listening to our body's cues. Think about it. In nature, you wouldn't see a bear trying to hibernate in the summer or a flower blooming in the middle of winter.
Okay, that's a great point. I definitely see how trying to fight against my natural tendencies could lead to burnout or even injury. So once we've kind of tuned into those personal seasonal patterns, then what? What's next?
Then it's all about setting goals that align with those natural rhythms and with what each season has to offer. Instead of those generic resolutions, we're talking about mini challenges throughout the year that are tailored to your unique preferences and the environment around you.
All right, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. So walk me through this. Let's say it's spring. What would a seasonal fitness goal look like during that time of year?
Well, spring is all about rebirth and growth. So it's a perfect time to reawaken your fitness routine, after those winter months. Think about activities that energize you and take advantage of that increasing daylight.
So things like outdoor runs, hikes, maybe even trying a new sport.
Exactly. And instead of just focusing on cardio, spring is an ideal time to incorporate mobility and flexibility work to kind of prep your body for more intense movement, as the weather warms up. One study we have here actually found that consistent stretching during the spring can reduce your risk of injury later in the year, when you're more likely to be engaging in those higher impact activities.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought about that. So it's like laying the groundwork for a stronger, more resilient body throughout the year.
Precisely. Now, building on that foundation, let's explore how we can leverage the energy of summer. The research actually suggests that summertime is an optimal time for building strength and maximizing your vitamin D levels, which plays a crucial role in muscle protein synthesis.
Okay, so summer is about capitalizing on those long, sunny days to really push our physical limits. What kind of activities would fit into this summer strength building theme? Is it all about like those intense boot camps and HIIT sessions?
Not necessarily. While those activities are certainly options, summer is also a great time to explore outdoor strength training, like using park benches, bodyweight exercises, and don't forget about activities like swimming or stand-up paddleboarding, which builds strength while keeping you cool.
I love the idea of turning the beach into my own personal gym. That definitely beats being stuck inside on a beautiful summer day. So we've got spring for prepping, summer for pushing our limits. What happens when things start to cool down in the fall? Do we just revert back to our old routines?
Not quite. The beauty of seasonal fitness is that it's constantly evolving with you. As we transition into fall, think about shifting your focus to refining those gains you made during the summer and preparing for the winter months ahead.
So we're talking about a more structured approach. I can see how that would align with the natural shift towards routine and balance as the days get shorter and schedules get busier.
Exactly. This is a great time to incorporate activities like gym training, Pilates, or even stability exercises. Think of it as laying the foundation for a strong and injury-free winter season.
Okay, that makes sense. I've always struggled with staying motivated during the winter months. It's so tempting to just hibernate on the couch until spring rolls around again. How does this seasonal approach help us stay on track when it's cold and dark outside?
Well, instead of viewing winter as a time to completely shut down, what if we shifted our perspective and saw it as an opportunity for something different? The research actually suggests that winter is an ideal time to focus on building strength through a concept called reverse periodization.
Reverse periodization, that sounds pretty technical. What exactly does that mean?
It's actually a fairly simple concept. Instead of building strength during the high-energy months of summer and then easing up in the winter, we flip the script. We use the winter months to gradually build strength, which then sets us up for peak performance when sport and summer roll around.
So we're basically using the winter as a secret weapon to come back stronger than ever when the weather warms up. I'm liking this idea already. But what kind of workouts are we talking about here? Surely we're not expected to be out there running in the snow, are we?
Not unless you enjoy that sort of thing. Winter is a great time to embrace indoor activities like strength training, mobility work, and even low-impact cardio like rowing or the elliptical. And let's not forget about the importance of rest and recovery during this time. You know, your body is naturally craving more downtime, so listen to those cues and prioritize activities that feel restorative.
Okay, that's a relief. I was starting to get worried I'd have to become a winter warrior to make this seasonal fitness thing work. So we've covered how to adjust our activities throughout the year, but what about motivation? It seems like it would be easy to lose steam, especially during those less than inspiring winter months. How do we keep that fire burning all year long?
That's where the beauty of seasonal challenges and mini goals comes in. Instead of overwhelming yourself with a year-long resolution, break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. For example, you could challenge yourself to try a new winter sport or commit to a certain number of strength training sessions per week. And remember, those goals should always align with your energy levels and the season itself.
I'm starting to see how this approach can be really empowering. It's like giving ourselves permission to work with our natural rhythms instead of fighting against them. But I have to be honest, I can already imagine myself coming up with excuses when those inevitable obstacles pop up: bad weather, busy schedules, holiday temptations. How do we stay on track when life throws us a curveball?
That's a great question, and one that we'll delve into even further as we continue our deep dive. But for now, remember that seasonal fitness is all about finding what works for you. It's not about perfection, it's about progress.
I'm loving this shift in perspective already. Okay, so we've covered the basics of setting seasonal goals and adjusting our activities throughout the year. What else do we need to know to make this whole seasonal fitness thing a reality?
Well, we've talked about tuning into your body's natural rhythms and setting goals that align with each season. But to really make this approach work, we need to kind of dive into the nitty-gritty of how to adapt your workouts to match, the unique challenges and opportunities each season presents.
That makes sense. I'm starting to see how this goes way beyond just swapping out a few exercises here and there, right? It's about a more holistic approach to fitness that takes into account everything from the weather to our energy levels.
Exactly. Let's start with one of the most common obstacles people face: shorter days and colder weather. It's no secret that motivation can kind of take a nosedive when it's dark and freezing outside.
Oh, tell me about it. My usual morning runs become a lot less appealing when I have to layer up like I'm heading to the Arctic.
The sources actually suggest a few clever strategies for this. One is to embrace this concept of light therapy. Even a short burst of bright light in the morning can help regulate your circadian rhythm, which influences your energy levels and sleep patterns.
So I could invest in one of those like fancy light therapy lamps. I've heard those can be really helpful for combating the winter blues.
They can be, but you can also find ways to just naturally increase your exposure to daylight. Maybe you shift your workout to lunchtime when the sun is at its peak, or even just spend a few minutes outside, during your morning coffee break.
Okay, I can definitely see how those small tweaks could make a big difference. What about those of us who really prefer to work out in the evenings? Are we doomed to hibernate all winter long?
Not at all. There are plenty of ways to make indoor workouts more appealing during the colder months. Think about investing in some new home workout equipment, trying out a virtual fitness class, or even just finding a workout buddy, someone to kind of keep you accountable. And remember, even a short 20-minute workout is better than nothing.
That's a good point. I tend to think if I can't get in a full hour-long workout, it's not even worth it. But I guess something is always better than nothing.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about another common obstacle,
Yeah.
the busy holiday season. Between travel, family commitments, and all those tempting treats, it's easy to kind of let our fitness routine slide.
Oh, I know this struggle all too well. It feels like there's always something going on during the holidays, and finding time for a workout is often the last thing on my mind.
The key here is to be flexible and realistic. Instead of trying to stick to your usual hour-long gym sessions, why not embrace the concept of micro-workouts?
Micro-workouts, I've never heard of those. What are they exactly?
They're short, high-intensity bursts of exercise that you can squeeze into even the busiest of schedules. Think 10-minute HIIT routines, bodyweight circuits, or even just a brisk walk around the block. The research actually shows that these short bursts of activity can be just as effective as longer workouts when it comes to improving cardiovascular health and burning calories.
That's amazing. I love the idea of being able to fit in a quick workout even when I'm short on time. It kind of takes the pressure off, It makes fitness feel more accessible.
Exactly. And speaking of accessibility, let's tackle another seasonal challenge that can be a real motivation killer: heat and humidity. It's tough to feel enthusiastic about working out when it feels like you're stepping into a sauna.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that. I've had my fair share of summer workouts where I felt like I was melting into a puddle of sweat. Not exactly motivating.
Well, the research suggests a few smart strategies for beating the heat. One is to pay close attention to the heat index and adjust your workout intensity accordingly.
Okay, that makes sense. So if it's super humid, maybe I'd opt for a light jog instead of an intense sprint session.
Exactly. You can also try shifting your workout to cooler times of the day, like early morning or evening. And don't be afraid to embrace water-based activities like swimming or stand-up paddleboarding, which could be a fun and refreshing way to stay active during the summer months.
I'm already feeling more prepared to handle those scorching summer days. But what about the mental side of things? How do we stay motivated and engaged throughout the year, especially when we're facing those inevitable seasonal challenges?
That's where the power of mindset comes in. One of the key principles highlighted in the research is this concept of seasonal affirmations. These are positive statements that you can repeat to yourself, to kind of stay focused on your goals and embrace the unique opportunities each season presents.
Seasonal affirmations, that's an interesting concept. What would a summer affirmation sound like?
It could be something like, I am energized by the warmth of the sun, and I am strong enough to overcome any challenge that comes my way. Or for winter, it could be, I embrace the stillness of winter and use this time to recharge and rebuild my strength.
I love that. It's like giving ourselves a little pep talk, to stay positive and motivated even when we're not feeling our best.
Exactly. And speaking of feeling our best, let's not forget the importance of nutrition in this whole seasonal fitness equation. Just like we adjust our workouts to match the seasons, we can also tweak our diets to support our body's changing needs.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I know I tend to crave lighter, fresher foods in the summer and heartier, more comforting dishes in the winter.
That's your body's natural wisdom guiding you.
Yeah.
The research actually suggests that eating seasonally can have a significant impact on our energy levels, digestion, and overall health.
So we're talking about things like loading up on fresh fruits and veggies in the summer and incorporating more warming soups and stews in the winter.
Exactly. And by paying attention to how different foods make you feel throughout the year, you can kind of create a personalized nutrition plan that supports your seasonal fitness goals and keeps you feeling your best no matter what the weather throws your way.
This is also fascinating. I'm starting to see how seasonal fitness isn't just about working out. It's about a more mindful and holistic approach to our overall well-being.
You hit the nail on the head. And one of the most powerful aspects of this approach is that it encourages us to embrace this concept of active rest. Instead of viewing rest as, a sign of weakness or laziness, we start to see it as a crucial component of long-term fitness success.
Active rest. I've heard that term before, but I'm not entirely sure what it means. Does it mean we can still do some type of exercise, even on our rest days?
It can, but it's more about choosing activities that help your body recover and recharge. Things like gentle stretching, yoga, walking, or even just spending time in nature. The key is to listen to your body and choose activities that feel restorative rather than depleting.
Okay, I'm starting to understand. It's like giving our bodies a chance to catch up and rebuild so we can come back even stronger next time.
Exactly. And one of the benefits of incorporating active rest is that it can help prevent burnout and reduce our risk of injury.
Yeah.
When we're constantly pushing ourselves to the limit, our bodies don't have a chance to recover, which can lead to fatigue, muscle soreness, and even more serious problems down the line.
That's a really good point. I've definitely experienced burnout before, both mentally and physically, and it's not fun. So by incorporating active rest into our routine, we're essentially taking care of our bodies for the long haul.
Precisely. And it's not just about physical benefits. Active rest can also help us manage stress, improve our sleep quality, and even boost our mood. When we give our bodies a chance to rest and recharge, we're also giving our minds a break, which can have a ripple effect on our overall well-being.
This is all making so much sense. I'm starting to see how seasonal fitness isn't just about achieving a certain physique or hitting a personal best. It's about finding a rhythm that works for us, a rhythm that honors our body's natural ebb and flow and supports our overall health and happiness.
Oh, I couldn't have said it better myself. And as we delve deeper into this deep dive, I think you'll discover even more profound connections between your fitness journey and the natural world around you.
I'm excited to keep exploring. Okay, so we've talked about adapting our workouts, embracing active rest, and even tweaking our diets to match the seasons. What else do we need to know to truly thrive on this seasonal fitness journey?
Yeah, I'm ready to uncover those deeper connections. I have to admit, I'm starting to see my fitness routine in a whole new light. It's not just about hitting the gym or checking off a to-do list. It's about becoming more in tune with myself and the world around me. That's the beauty of this approach. It encourages us to shift from a purely external focus to a more internal one. Instead of chasing after, arbitrary goals or comparing ourselves to others, we start to pay attention to what truly feels good for our bodies and minds.
I love that. It's like giving ourselves permission to let go of those external pressures and tap into our own inner wisdom. But how do we actually cultivate that inner awareness? Is it something we're born with, or is it a skill we can develop over time?
It's a bit of both. We all have an innate connection to nature's rhythms, but it's often drowned out by the noise of modern life. But the good news is that we can reawaken that connection through conscious practices like mindfulness and meditation.
Okay, that makes sense. I've dabbled in meditation before, but I've always struggled to make it a consistent habit. How can we incorporate these practices into our daily lives in a way that feels, sustainable and even enjoyable?
The key is to find what works for you. It doesn't have to be a formal seated meditation practice. It could be as simple as spending a few minutes each day focusing on your breath, noticing the sensations in your body, or even just taking a walk in nature without any distractions.
I can definitely see how those small moments of mindfulness could help us tune into our body's signals and make more conscious choices throughout the day. But how does this translate to our fitness routine specifically? How can we use mindfulness to enhance our workouts and stay motivated?
One powerful technique is to bring your attention to the present moment during your workouts. Instead of letting your mind wander to your to-do list or replaying yesterday's stresses, focus on the feeling of your muscles working, your breath flowing, and the rhythm of your movement.
So it's about turning our workouts into a moving meditation. I love that idea. It takes the focus off of burning calories or achieving a certain aesthetic and brings it back to the experience itself.
Exactly. And when we're fully present in our bodies, we're more likely to notice those subtle signals of fatigue or discomfort, which can help prevent injuries and ensure we're training at a level that feels sustainable for us.
This is all starting to click for me. It's not just about what we do, it's about how we do it, right? By bringing mindfulness into the equation, we're transforming our workouts from a chore into an opportunity for self-discovery and growth.
Beautifully said. And that's where the magic of seasonal fitness really shines. When we combine the external principles of aligning our workouts with nature's rhythms, with the internal practice of mindfulness, we create a powerful synergy that supports our overall well-being.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel like we've covered so much ground, from understanding the science behind seasonal fitness to exploring the deeper connections between our bodies, our minds, and the natural world. I'm walking away with a renewed sense of inspiration and a whole new perspective on what it means to truly thrive.
It's been a true pleasure exploring these ideas with you. And remember, the most important takeaway is this. Fitness is not a destination. It's a journey. A journey that's constantly evolving, just like the seasons themselves.
So beautifully said. And to our listener out there, we encourage you to embrace this journey with curiosity, with compassion, and an open mind. Listen to your body's wisdom. Find what feels good, and remember that every day is a new opportunity to connect with your inner rhythm and create a life that feels vibrant and aligned.
Until next time, stay curious, stay active, and keep exploring.